Uh, Good morning, at least here in Oklahoma. It's morning. And yesterday evening, I put together an email and sent it to you, which you probably have by now. And I neglected to answer the question, can you tell me what I might be doing, sort of a day in the life of? And this morning I got up and I jotted an outline down and, to put in an email. And I couldn't get comfortable with how to explain things, so making a video, and uh, and hopefully it'll work. I feel like I can attach it to your email, and so once you get the email, you can click on it, and hopefully this will at least prompt questions if you have them, or maybe clarify some things. And the way I'm going to do this is what you're looking at is what we call a module. It is a week, and you can see that it is titled Week 1 Introduction and Overview. Now, let me move it around just a little bit. This will be your kind of workspace, let me call it. And you can see up here, this is Excavation 101. It's all about, it has to do with planning an excavation, but not in detail. It may talk a little bit about uh, cost and things like that, and what kind of equipment selection and some things like that will be in this week long module. I told you a little bit about, I'll probably introduce them to a mass diagram and tell them where the information comes from, and give them some few things on the, the ordinance, the cubic yards, and like you said, we talked about, uh, be sure to compensate for shrinkage, et cetera, et cetera. And I won't go into very much detail, but I want them to look at it and show them how it will explain maybe what kind of uh, uh, equipment you might need, also the haul distance, the average haul distance, and some of that kind of stuff like that. But I'm not going to get very deep in it. And most of the stuff in here will be along the lines of, just like some tips about excavating in rock and some ways to do things, and when you're in rock, and like we talked about the soils, types of soils and things like that, and things to look for as I'm speaking. It seems to me I'm running out of what in the heck do I do, but I'm just going to go through it like this. And you're looking at, so I said something like 4 to 6 hours a week. Well, this is a real module you're looking at. So it has things in it. This right here is. Oh, let me back up a little bit, not get too much in a hurry. This is week 1 out of a 10-week course, and as you can see, week 2 we'll talk about the types of heavy equipment. They've had some of that in the certificate programs, but I want to go a little bit deeper about how many articulated truck versus a rigid frame truck, how much it can haul, maybe some things like that. And rippers, if they use one shank when it's in rock, and just stuff like that. And then where are you going to put your scrapers? And they're all pretty quick pieces of equipment versus the dozers. How not to create traffic jams on a large excavation. A lot of things like that will go into this week too. Week 1 is really, there's a pre-test that we put together when they first get here, and there will be a post-test back down in week 10. Week 5, we usually have a midterm exam, and week 9, we'll have, or week 10, we'll have the final exam. So in this course, Here I have a video. I'm not going to click it on, and it just really gives them what to expect as far as they take a look at the syllabus, which I could click over here, and I could click on this, and they would see what you're seeing. They would see the syllabus, and they would see me doing these things, like this video. This is the very beginning here. So I want to go back. I'll see if I can get back this way. If not, I can click the home button. But this is the navigation pane over here. So we'll have a little Canvas lesson as we're going here. And these are the things that the students can't see. They don't need to be looking at all the quizzes and all the files. And a page is like, I don't want to get too far into Canvas. You'll pick that up easy enough. But a overview, let's just take a look at that. Like inside of here, there's a page. And let's see if I did this right. Let's just take a look. And here, these are my objectives, like become familiar with the format, demonstrate an understanding of our outcomes for the course really in this video, and schools expectations and things like that. And those are all presented to them in the form of that catalog that I sent to you. So once again, let me see if I can go back home. And from home, I can go to the modules. Now, there's information. Here is where most of my instruction, not here, it'll be under instructional resources, which would be, I would go up here and I'd drag a page down. That's just the IT part of it. But this is our discussion. And in this particular discussion, when I click it up, when I open this, uh, over here, these red and these check mark means that I have published all of this stuff. Now you go down to week 2 and I don't have anything published, so the students can't see anything down here, and I don't like for them to get ahead. Everybody finishes up and then we move. If a student gets behind, I'll allow him to catch up if it's extenuating circumstances. The back to the tailgate. I always talk about this. This is one of your biggest problems in success of a student online, and so we're going to have a discussion about that. And what that looks like from here is here's the tailgate, the 3 musts, and these are what I want them to talk about: self-management. And here's a little my definition: self-advocacy. We have a lot of problem. If you're in a classroom, you can see the look in a guy's eye that he may say he understands, but you know better. So the ability to speak up, ask for help is crucial in an online setting. And we have so much trouble with that. So I have started, that's the first thing we introduce. Uh, Self-management, self-advocacy, and some tech fluency. This is where you need some confidence, et cetera, et cetera. And I try to help them look at critical thinking. Says I've given them a brief uh, uh, definition of these things. Now, what do these things mean to you? Is kind of what I'm saying here, and I give them some help in. If you know it, this is, can you explain it? Can you explain this? Do you know how to apply it? Do you have perspective? What does this mean to you? Not me. What does it mean to you? And do you relate to it? Have have experience with it? In other words, self-knowledge. Do you know about tech fluency and the importance of it, et cetera, et cetera? Hope I don't get off too far into teaching, but kind of wanted you to have a chance to look at, this is me as the instructor. So when I want to get out of this thing, a lot of times I can just hit the back button, but I can always go to this and it'll say course modules fall 2023 introduction to excavation, which will take me back to where I was. So this has to be put together. Now, when I say once you get this together, that as a rule of thumb for myself, I have other duties, but I'll try to get week 1 and week 2 put together before I even start the course. This lets me stay ahead of the students, and so far I've been able to, I have an outline, even if it's just written down on notebook paper of what I want to do. So, of the whole entire course, really. And we have course outlines with objectives that lets you stay ahead in pencil, let's say. But when it comes time to put it in here, there'll be a way to write it down. As you can see, let me go back to that tailgate. This is written all typed by me, and it's on a page, especially for tailgates. And these are some more clarifications on how to respond, how many responses, and kind of some prompts to tell them what I'm looking for. Now, as we go along, I will gradually fade out and with prompts and enabling them. I want them to take over the discussions at some point and as soon as I can. And I'll jump in here maybe after I see that they've started. I'll stay away and then I'll jump in and see how they're doing. And I try not to put too much into it. If they're kind of stuck, I'll say, what about this? And give them some devil advocate stuff, just something to keep them moving along. And it in in the meantime, I may be working on uh, this week too, finishing it up, or I may go down to the cafe and have a cup of coffee, and take my phone in case somebody calls. It's just, I'm not going to, I don't really have to sit here 8 hours. Like I said, me personally, though, I have other duties and I get paid for those other duties. So I pretty well spend a lot of time at this computer that uh, even the regular instructors normally don't do, and especially the adjunct. This is what we want to have in place before we start, so I can help. Like let's say we reach an agreement. You want to do this. This is what I'm going to help you with. I'm going to look going back to objectives. What do these students need to know, and that's where we'll be asking for your help. When we reach like uh, consensus, I guess, between you, myself, and maybe one other fellow uh, uh, on what should these students be able to do when they do and know when they leave here, and we'll work together on getting that done. And then there'll be, as you can see, there's the assignments or a quiz. This is kind of typical stuff. Now, this right here is the pretest. There's not much going on in week 1 for a reason, because they're getting textbooks, and that's really, other than if we have this course put together, uh, you might assist with textbooks, or, you know, like if you've got to go do something and maybe it's going to be like during our first week, but you can enlist my help and invite me into your course, and we'll go through all that, and I can take over for you as far as just housekeeping stuff if that needs to be done. So you know, you don't have to spend 4 or 6 hours, or if you need to and want to, you can put some extra time. It's just that we probably will be paying by per 10 week, like so much uh, per credit hour, and this 10-week course will have just as a reminder, all courses are 3 hours. So I do have a quiz in week one, and it's a quiz on the syllabus because there's a lot of information on that syllabus that they need to know. And you know, do you have, you know, do they have the right textbook? They can check the syllabus. The syllabus has links to the catalog, a lot of information. So I want to know if they know what's in the syllabus. That's why I have a quiz here. So as I said, we'll give them a pre-test and we will retest them on this same test at the end of the course. You know, to say, you know, they didn't know anything hardly when they came in here, but they did learn these things. And actually, that helps us, but it's actually a requirement to maintain accreditation. You need to uh, be able to show that they did learn something in it. And so I thought there'd be a whole lot more, and there really is more to talk about here. But this is like the online, the learning management system, and it's already kind of shelled. It just needs information, and this happens to be a course I have taught before, so it's like 80% already ready to go. I've just gone back through it and did some upgrading. I always find things as I look back. The longer I do this, especially on this, when the same course comes around, you think you know, it's good to go, but you always learn something. And the next time I'm going to do this, so I keep a little, I don't want to call it a diary. It's just like I make notes. Like next time, instead of doing this, I'm going to do this. So that's I don't know what else to say. So much as to you'll have support. You know, if you have trouble with Kansas, there's two of us. I'm not one of them that are pretty tech fluent. I'm at an age where I remember floppy disk and things like that. That was my introduction to the internet world. But I've come a long way uh, to getting pretty good at this. But there's a way for the student to upload an assignment. Let's see what this looks like. This, I kind of want them to learn how to navigate OSHA. Uh, and I forgot what I do here, but let's just look at this. This is a, yeah, I emphasize on fall protection, and I have them look up all of the parts of this subpart M in OSHA after I've given them some directions. A lot of our guys come out of the certificate programs, so this mobile crane room, they're all familiar with it. And, you know, if they've been through crane training, that's just like pounded into them. And so a lot of them are familiar with. But this is just one assignment. This is a good assignment because it makes them go do something. They have to go to OSHA. They have to find the rule, and it starts. I need them to. I want them to understand how to navigate OSHA. You know, OSHA is an important part of our reality when we're out there in construction. And you know, for the most part, it's glad we have it. It's a pain sometimes. Let me see if I can get back. Yes. Uh, there's not much more to show here, but I felt like this was going to be kind of helping you see what's going on. You know, it's like you're not there. This uh, this is what I want to do more of, and we kind of tipped on it. We were we initially designed this thing to be almost 100% what they call asynchronous, not face to face. But where's the see this this right here gives the student a video on how to use the big blue button, and it's like I'm making a video now, but I'm using an app that I have called CBO. That's pretty easy. If I can do it, you can be assured it's easy. And so I'm going to take this video when I'm through with it, and it'll save to my files in my computer. I have a place where they go. And then what I'll do is I'll get an email and address it to you, and I'll put the video in the email, so when you get the email, you can take a look at the video, and hopefully it'll do its job. And as far as providing a little clarity, we're trying to get back. So we're back. Uh, Instructional resources. You may have a ton of stuff in here, and sometimes I do. Here, for instance, this is getting into week 2. This is when we start getting our feet wet here. There's a video here. I haven't made it yet. That's planned today, but I cover uh, what am I in here? I'm in excavation. Yeah, this is still not a good one. This is here would be like this comes this is a training guide for heavy equipment, and it comes from a curriculum that we put together ourselves, and it's really neat. I'm not going to upload it right now, but it's about 30 pages of types of heavy equipment, and I want them to go back and be refreshed. I need to ensure all of our folks are required to at least have 3 years of heavy equipment related construction training, or have attended one of our certificate programs, such as heavy equipment or mobile crane, to even get in the course. So going back, whatever kind of information that you come up with will be put in these slots. This is here's we talk about this will be a discussion. There'll be I want the excavator in is just in this module is really emphasized. It's a wonder to me how many excavator operators I've run into that had no idea that there was a load chart, just like a crane has, on the side window of the excavator. So we want these guys to know that it's there and know how to read it. So we spend a little time on the excavator, since it's not just always used for uh, excavating. It you pick up manholes with it. You pick up a lot of things with it. So we'll go through that, and then we talk about the shielding, shoring, et cetera, et cetera. It's not a real deep dive into trenching and shoring, but it covers what they need to know to be aware of. It's kind of uh, focused on the employee rather than training the competent person for trenching and shoring. This is a story, a video of a guy that was in a trench collapse, and it's not to scare them, it's just to let them know that it's real. We'll go over the components here. And here are the few things when we get it. We have a whole module on safety. There's so much safety that needs to be covered. And then there's the navigating ocean. We'll have, this will be in week 5, midway through, we'll have this. And then we'll have some more, a little bit. This will be a light week because we'll do the midterm. This is planning for excavation. This is what I hope to improve on a little bit. This could be a really neat, uh, let's call it module a week on planning excavation. There's more I can do than what I've done. Uh, this is my textbook written by uh, I forgot their name. That's a father and son, but actually, it used to be almost a pocket-sized book. But I taught myself how to read grade, just reading that book. And I used to. I was working when I had a real job. I worked for a company out of Tulsa, and they farmed me out to the NRCS, that Natural Resource Conservation Services, and all I did for the first year was dig ponds on for ranchers and farmers through the NRCS. And the first one I went to, the guy said, "Here's your benchmark and here's your drawing." and that's the last I heard from him. So I kind of taught myself how to calculate slopes and stuff along with reading this little handbook here. So I use it quite extensively. It's a little old and it doesn't have any really, anything that would have to do with uh, GPS, telematics, any of that stuff, or even what's available in software that you probably use. Here's a few tips on operating that comes out of that book, and then I'll have a quiz. This will probably be short, and then an idea of an assignment for that week. I think I have it in here. Here it is. Like these are I like these kind of questions. I'll have them read these pages, and then I'll say, when planning for an excavation, what is your first concern? We'll see that's gone over in those pages, and sometimes we will bring this to the discussion so that we can talk about, why is it your first concern? Well, selecting your equipment's a big deal, and making sure you got the right equipment for the job, et cetera, et cetera. So I kind of like these kinds of questions. The problem with these questions is I have to grade them as, I have to know it too. Now, that as opposed to a quiz. Notice this is an essay assignment and it's put together differently. Uh, but in relation to a quiz, uh, what did I do? Looks like I brought us home. Well, that's not a bad thing. Uh, we get back where I was. Midterm, and then planning for excavation. See, a quiz now is going to be a multiple choice. The book has some that we copied, very few questions in it, but it will grade itself, and I can preview it. Uh, just here's the question, here's you don't see ABC, or what's what, nor do you see the correct answer. But when they look at it, they'll be seeing something like this. They'll see the question, and then it'll be like any other multiple choice. So, but this test will grade itself. So that's a time saver. That's the benefit of it. But quite frankly, I don't think you learn as much, like what the student really knows in a multiple choice as you do and have them articulate it through writing it, through an essay kind of deal. I think it makes them dig a little bit deeper and really come to a better understanding. That's a percentage of luck. As a matter of fact, the C answer across the United States is more likely going to be the right answer, and it's funny how people come up with those statistics, but I believe it's true. But I don't have a reason why I believe that. Okay. It's also not going to let me. I may have done something. I got to make sure that I don't. Let me cancel that. What I always want to do when I preview or go, no, I don't have to. It thinks I'm editing, but I'm not, so I can leave it. If I was editing, it wouldn't let me without that little notification. I want to leave because I'm not editing. So, how to wrap this thing up? I'm used to talking to myself. I do a lot of videos, and I'm sure you will, if you come aboard, you will find that it's really good stuff. I'll do the video. They watch it. They're able to pause it. They can send me through this little guy right here called the inbox is really good. You click on that, and then you select a student, and they'll get an email from you, and they can uh, uh, inbox you back. In other words, you'll get an email. and Canvas takes care of all that. The calendar I don't really use. I think it's not accurate sometimes, so I just tell them, if we're on module 6, guess what the next module is going to be? 7. You know, there's it's pretty simple, so I keep them on board, and these shouldn't even be like I can do that, and then I can like they can't see it now. So I will go through. The students are just now coming in, and so I go through here and I just mostly unpublish everything because I don't want them dancing around, going around, trying to look ahead, trying to get ahead. I want to stay on task, and if we're all having trouble, it's better than just one's in week 4, one's in week 7, that kind of stuff. So I keep it where they can't see it, and so therefore they can't do it, as you can see. Uh, I hope this helps a little bit. It's hard to really. Uh, it's one of those things that you know you don't know. I really don't know how cold the water is until you get in it. So it's it. I don't. We rarely have issues with new people understanding the LMS, the Canvas thing. Every once in a while, I have to reach out because I'll forget how to do some things. But it's pretty simple. Like I say, if I can do it, probably most anybody can do it. Uh, so maybe I've given you some through the email yesterday evening and through this little video that perhaps have a little more clarification or maybe some prompts to call or send me an email to ask for more. Hope to hear from you soon. You have a good, I think, Wednesday maybe or Thursday. One of those 2 days is what it is. Uh, so, looking forward to continuing the conversation.